Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
As the chief buffet officer here at Pizza Ranch, I get all kinds of buffet questions. Here's one from Cole.
Is there a real cactus in your cactus bread?
Great question, Cole. No, there is no cactus in our cactus bread, just sweet cinnamony streusel. It's on our buffet every day, along with pizza, chicken, ice cream, and all your other favorites. Even better, at least for your parents, kids eat free on Tuesday nights. And don't worry, Cole, there's no coal in our coleslaw either.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Discover a healthier, happier you with Weight Loss Professional Nutrition. We are not about quick fixes, but real, sustainable change. With our advanced nutrition plans, expertly designed by our certified nutritionists, we're with you at every step on your weight loss journey. Step into the world of well-being with Weight Loss Professional Nutrition, where we believe in the power of smart diet choices. Visit weightlossprofessionalnutrition.com today or call 800-597-3991 to get 30% off your first month and start your transformation. A new you is just a click away, or a call to 800-597-3991.
When it comes to joining the Nebraska Army National Guard, you've heard it all before. College, healthcare, signing bonus. But joining is so much more than that. It's setting yourself up for a new and better chapter of your life. I'm Staff Sergeant Paul White, and because of the Nebraska Army National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weeknights. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. We got the host, as always, to my left, Chancellor Brewington, on a freezing Tuesday night, and it's not going to get any better in the weeks looking ahead here. But nonetheless, how's it going?
Man, it is cold.
Yeah,
it is cold. But yeah, it's cold. But we got safe. You know, I had safe travels today. I hope everyone else did. Be safe out there, of course. I ran through a stoplight.
Yeah, I'm sure you weren't the only one today.
Man, I ran through a stoplight, man. I tried to stop. Law enforcement, I tried to stop, but nothing was stopping me, man. But I'm blessed, man. I'm here. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, were you used to driving in bad weather before coming up here, or was this when you got to Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska? Was this kind of a new learning curve for you to figure out?
Well, my old school kind of snowed a little bit more than here, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, Northern Arizona, it was up in Flagstaff, right outside the Grand Canyon. So it snowed a lot up there. I got in my first and only real accident up there. I was going about 35 and thought I could just stop on a dime and kind of just hit the back of someone. But yeah, I'm kind of used to the snow now. But
what about the cold? Was that about the same?
Way colder here.
Okay.
Way colder here. Because it would snow and then it would
melt the next day.
Melt. Yeah. Here, not so much.
Yeah, that's where I know everyone likes to have snow when it gets to that Christmas time, but not around here because that snow's not going anywhere. It's not getting above 32 anytime soon. So you start getting that brown, gray, dirty snow that kind of ruins the spirit a little bit. But yeah, definitely freezing. It's not going to get any better. So if you're out there driving, as Chancellor Brewington said, drive safe. And if you want to join the show, 5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. You want to put a face to the voice. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 961, no longer 951. That is 961. But we had a chance to kind of watch some of the college football championship live last night. Overall thoughts on the game. I think it went the way most people kind of anticipated it to. But nonetheless, what are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it went the way I expected it to. I thought Michigan was going to score by about 2 scores, and they did. I just think the way Michigan runs their offense, I heard this term and I'm going to steal it. I don't know who I'm stealing this from, but they run a very simple offense, but they make it look very sophisticated. Not sophisticated. They make it look very, they just get to things very creatively, but it's a simple scheme. They run inside zone or they run duo, but they get to it a different way. And, I think that's what makes Michigan special because they're very simple in what they do. They just get to things so many different ways. How many rushing yards does that say that they had total?
Yeah. So I know Edwards had a great game, but Blake Corum still ended up being the leading rusher for him with about 124 yards. But yeah, Michigan dominated on the ground, 303 rushing yards to Washington's 46.
Yep. I think that was the tale of the game is who's going to dominate the trenches. I think going into the game, you see the way Michigan handled Bama and their physical D-line and their physical front seven and the way they were able to execute their runs. I'd be curious to see what the yards per carry were. I'm not sure if they have that on there, but just seeing the way Michigan was physical and very effective in what they did, I think it was a great game plan, staying simple in the run game. And then obviously in the pass game, taking shots when the opportunity presents itself, of course.
Yeah. Do you think I asked Amon Green and Marty Pearson the same question, but I think it does raise an idea for a lot of these programs, how they want to develop going forward. JJ McCarthy, 10 for 18, 140 yards. He wasn't asked to do a lot. That's not a bad thing against him. He did what he needed to. No turnovers, played efficient enough, didn't have to put the game on his shoulders at any point. But does this kind of change, you think, how coaches are going to look at developing their program? Because it just kind of proves to us right there, you don't need your quarterback to be the be-all, end-all. You know, J.J. McCarthy, good quarterback, but he was nowhere near the Heisman conversation.
Right. I think that goes back to the controversial statement Cam Newton made midway through the year. You know, a game manager and a game changer. So I think he's a very good game manager. I think 10 for 18. I think a couple of those throws were throwaways, so that's probably a little skewed. But I mean, JJ McCarthy's not a guy we're gonna demand, and you're demanding, hey, I need you to make 35 good throws today. We're gonna throw the ball 48 times. I need you to go at least 70% right there. That's not really his forte, and also that's not the place call style. Yeah. If he was to play in Oklahoma, or if he was to play in a Texas Tech, or if he was to play in Ohio State even, okay, you're going to have to throw the ball about 30, 40 times a game. But in this offense, it's very simple. What he's asked to do is actually command the game because there's an art to commanding the game now. There's an art to that. There's an art to knowing the play clock, to getting everybody lined up, to clean snaps, to getting everybody on the same page. There's an art to that. And I think that's nothing to be taken away from JJ McCarthy. It's just we're just not used to seeing that back to back to back. We're not used to seeing Stetson Bennett last year, and then who was it?
Stetson Bennett, and then you went to obviously JJ McCarthy the year before that
with Mac Jones, or
it was Mac Jones for
Bama. Yeah, I think that was the third one. So I think those are all game managers. They're not Lamar Jacksons. They're not Deshaun Watsons. They're not who else we got? Tim Tebow's. They're not that type of player, but they manage the game well and they get the job done. They do what they need to do for their team.
And this is a great question from Augie. He says, do you think this would be a movement for offenses considering how devalued the running back has become in the NFL? I think what he's trying to ask here is, well, that's a double-sided sword on that question there, because the NFL running back problem is always going to be a tough one to solve. That's where the market has to help those guys out. The market just has never been in their favor. How it affects the NFL, I'm not sure. I will say for college, though, do you think Michigan, the way they run the ball, the way they just kind of bully everyone, think that added some value back to the run game in terms of college football?
Oh, yeah. I think it's just awesome to see a system work. Whatever that system is. You had Clemson back in the day where Deshaun Watson going to step back and he's going to throw the ball about 30, 40, 50 times a game, and it's going to be a shootout. So it was just interesting, and to see how radically different those offenses were last night. You got Washington, who they are going to throw about how many
51,
times?
27 for 51.
Exactly. So 51 times a game versus 18, but 300 yards rushing. So it's just awesome to see how different styles. So I think to add more context to what we're talking about, Washington got to the national championship game, right? They could have won it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
I thought they didn't play their best game. I'll be honest.
Right.
I thought we saw not the worst version, but definitely not the best version of Washington.
Right. So they got to the championship game playing their football, which was air raid, which was throw the ball 50 times. And Michigan got there by playing Big Ten football. So I think it's going to be interesting, especially with the two conferences mixing together. I mean, making these big two conferences. I think it's going to be interesting to see what styles are going to get adapted. What what is a school like Texas going to be? What is a school like Oklahoma going to be? What is a school like Oregon going to be? What is a school like USC going to be? So what identity are they going to choose? Because I think Big Ten football, you factor in the weather conditions, you factor in the size of these human beings that are playing football nowadays, and the speed. There's just different you can't just do simple route you can't do it. You just can't, especially when you got teams like Michigan who will hold the ball and beat you on time possession every time.
Yeah, and that's my next question. So looking at a team like Washington, as we just said, 51 passes in that game. A lot of it, they're coming from behind in the second half too. So a lot of that is also inflated just because they had to throw the ball when you're looking at, fourth and long, third and long, like they were throughout most of that second half. But when you see a team like Washington entering the Big Ten, along with UCLA, USC, with all those teams hitting the Big Ten, do you think they have a tough time adjusting to that Big Ten size we're talking about? We know this Washington team is good, but do you think they take a little bit more of a beating in those regular season games just by the fact they're playing Big Ten football now?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a different question to talk about, because you think about the Colorado game. Colorado versus Nebraska, it was a shootout kind of, then Colorado pulled away at the end. So what happens when Colorado has to play a team like that's physical the next week, and then the next week, and then they got 6 straight Big Ten games, so it's just going to be a little interesting, especially how they recruit now is going to be probably a little different, I would assume, but also the sample size now that you're adding teams into the Big Ten. So what system is going to work against the Big Ten style play, right? So what if they get find a matchup with the air raid that they like?
You better hope it's not a windy day at Memorial Stadium.
Oh my goodness!
You're talking about the weather, there's just times where some of those schools, they're not going to be able to do what they want to do.
Exactly.
The weather in the Big Ten can be brutal. If you're playing up in Michigan late season or even Iowa, that wind can completely take you out of passing the ball around the yard like you want to.
Yeah.
So that's why I do wonder if a team like Washington or all these teams that are entering the Big Ten, I think you can't be a successful team in the Big Ten without a running game. Or am I wrong on that?
No, I think you're right. I don't think any team in the past has been a very dominant team and not had a run game.
Yeah, like Ohio State, they're known for airing it out, but they've always had
a
run game.
Exactly,
to kind of bail them out when they needed it.
Yeah, I agree. And also a very strong O-line. I think that's a key in every good football team, dominating the trenches on both sides.
Yeah, and then when it comes to the game yesterday with Michigan, do you think that put Washington in a little bit of a panic when it wasn't necessarily Corum, but it was Edwards in that first half that had a little bit of a different style? Corum, very patient runner, will wait for the holes to open up. Edwards gets in the game. Hole's not there, cut it out, bounces it outside. He runs in for a touchdown. It was 2 running styles. But how much do you think that affected Washington, just Edwards being able to cut it up and give him a different look with more of just straight downhill speed, cutting it back as soon as he saw open space?
Yeah, I'm sure when Edwards went in the game, there are certain things that they were going to see on film that, like he likes to do this. And then all of a sudden, when he gets hot, now the playbook really opens up, because now Blake, Blake is going to get his, he's going to get his. So I think that was probably a tricky situation for the Washington defense and their coaches. But shout out to Edwards for doing his thing. Not shout out to Michigan, shout out to Edwards
And
himself.
Hausman. I'll give it to Hausman.
Yeah,
and,
Ernest got
yeah.
his first national championship. I only know a couple people my age that have one. So that's a badge of honor. That's something that go down in history. I know Will Nixon. He used to play at Nebraska. He got a few snaps last night for Washington. Got some carries. So shout out to those boys, man.
Yeah, and I want to stay on this Big Ten topic that we're on right here, talking about all the teams adding into it. When it comes to the teams that we're adding to the Big Ten next year, which team do you think is going to struggle the most when it comes to adjusting to the Big Ten?
I thought Oregon was a very solid football team this year. I thought they could have competed in the Big Ten. They're very physical.
I'm looking at the UCLA.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be tough.
They're used to that just prime weather all the time. Their conference, they don't have to typically go that far. They're typically staying in that nice weather. That's a team that has never really had that run game identity.
Mm-hmm.
I think when they come to the Big Ten, they're going to be at the bottom until they get that figured out.
Yeah, and it's just gonna be how do you recruit now? Now in the portal, what type of guys you gonna take? I think probably gonna have to go a lot of East Coast guys. You're gonna have to come recruit past the border. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see how even a team like USC does. And so if I'm getting this correct, the other conference would be SEC.
Yeah, so it's basically going to be two massive conferences. The Florida State is in the middle of blowing up the entire ACC because they don't want to be a part of it anymore. They went undefeated because they're in the ACC. They don't make the playoffs, so they want out. Nothing's been determined there yet. The ACC doesn't want to let them in. Big Ten hasn't really said anything about it yet, but yeah, basically the Big Ten. Obviously, you got Texas, you got Oklahoma hitting the SEC. Big Ten, you got Washington, Oregon, UCLA, USC, and then I'd imagine there is a chance that the Big Ten takes Florida State, which I think would probably grab Clemson as well to even it out. But yeah, it's like you said, it's two mega conferences. It's basically NFC, AFC.
So
NFL.
then what happens to Big 12?
Big 12, I mean, they'll still be Power 5 in the bracket. The way the bracket's proposed right now is you'll still have your Power 5 programs. And if you win that Power 5 conference game, you should have a slotted slate in it. We'd have to pull up the chart here so I don't give wrong information, but you'll still be part of the mix. But it's just so foggy right now on what these conferences continue to do because they're all in talks trying to get out of it. Is what it feels like. Big 12 a little stronger than the ACC. Pac-12 obviously dissolving as we speak, but it's going to be interesting. And I think UCLA out of all the teams is really going to struggle when it comes to making that Big 10 transition.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting, especially I think it's going to create a lot of new experiences for a lot of new teams though, getting to travel different places. Have a team like Rutgers go play in LA that would be fun.
East to West Coast.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That's the way I feel like college football should be. You shouldn't just play in your remote areas. You should go get to travel and see the world. Not the world, the country.
Sometimes the world, those off-season trips. Sometimes you'll go out foreign countries.
Right.
I do worry though. I know it's great for football, but when I do think about other sports like basketball next year, you don't have a whole lot of time in between games. You got to go to play at USC. 3 days later, you got a game on the East Coast, like you said. Maybe you got to go to Rutgers. Then you got to go back for your exams back in the Midwest. Then you got a game down, who knows, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio State. You're going to be all over the map.
Yeah.
I do worry about that for those athletic programs that they're playing multiple games in a week. I do think Nebraska, the only thing that I'm going to spin it positively, do you think Nebraska's in the best possible spot when it comes to
travel?
Weird enough recruiting advantages just based on where we're at in the conference?
Yeah, I mean,
right in the middle.
Yeah, I think I definitely think so because to be honest, you get your East Coast guys, it's not that far away from home. And then you get your West Coast guys, it's not that far away from home.
Yeah,
so,
we're the closest to UCLA. Any of those Eastern schools, we're the closest one to.
Yeah, so I think Nebraska's in a fantastic position. I think we should be able to capitalize on a lot of recruitment and also travel and getting early, especially for basketball because their schedules are ridiculous.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking about the most, and baseball as well. When you think about baseball, you're playing multiple games, sometimes 2 games in the same day.
Yeah.
I know there's a little bit of a stir with college football kind of taking over that whole process. When this was going down, did you ever think? Obviously, you're not involved, so your feelings wouldn't have to be attached to it anyways. But were you ever thinking about how is this going to affect some of those other programs outside of college football?
I thought about like volleyball.
Yeah, they play a lot of games too.
Like, what is that going to look like? What is like a softball going to look like? Does it change for track? Does it change, and money wise, does it have an effect? Are some teams not going to be able to afford some things? You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely, I feel like it's focused on football, but so many people are getting affected by it. So I think eventually you got to take those teams into consideration and figure it out that way.
I like what you said there. The football programs are probably going to figure out a way to get the money.
Yeah.
There's programs out there, and like, let's just be honest, like swimming, diving, track and field, bowling. It's tougher to get people to come out and watch those.
Right.
Those guys, I think, will be affected by travel. Like they're not bringing necessarily a bunch of money in, and now you're telling them you got to go take a plane all the way to the East Coast, get back, get all your gear, then take another plane out. Like that's a lot of flights to take, rack up money to spend. So it is interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out in years to come, but that's not going to start until next year. With that being said, though, we'll go ahead and throw it to our first break here on What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Got the host to my left, Chancellor Brewington, as always. Don't go anywhere. We got a couple segments left, and then we'll have a replay and set you up for the post-game show after Nebraska basketball faces Purdue. So nonetheless, we'll throw it to break here. Talk to you guys in a little bit.
Discover a healthier, happier you with Weight Loss Professional Nutrition. We are not about quick fixes, but real, sustainable change. With our advanced nutrition plans, expertly designed by our certified nutritionists, we're with you at every step on your weight loss journey. Step into the world of well-being with Weight Loss Professional Nutrition, where we believe in the power of smart diet choices. Visit weightlossprofessionalnutrition.com today or call 800-597-3991 to get 30% off your first month and start your transformation. A new you is just a click away, or a call to 800-597-3991.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Will your path take you, traveler, to seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
As the chief buffet officer here at Pizza Ranch, I get all kinds of buffet questions. Here's one from Cole.
Is there a real cactus in your cactus bread?
Great question, Cole. No, there is no cactus in our cactus bread, just sweet cinnamony streusel. It's on our buffet every day, along with pizza, chicken, ice cream, and all your other favorites. Even better, at least for your parents, kids eat free on Tuesday nights. And don't worry, Cole, there's no coal in our coleslaw either.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Adoption of teens from foster care is a topic not enough people know about, and we're here to change that. I'm April Dinwiddie, host of the new podcast, Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Each episode brings you compelling real-life adoption stories told by the families that live them with commentary from experts. Visit adoptuskids.org/podcast or subscribe to Navigating Adoption, presented by Adopt US Kids. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families and the Ad Council.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it twice a day.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it in the morning and before dinner.
I get it, slip it, cuff it, check it, and share it with my doctor. Nearly 1 in 2 U.S. adults have high blood pressure. That's why it's important to self-monitor your blood pressure in 4 easy-to-remember steps. It starts with a monitor.
Now that I know my blood pressure numbers, I talked with my doctor. We're getting those numbers down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Be next to talk to your doctor about your blood pressure numbers. Get down with your blood pressure. Self-monitoring is power. Learn more at manageyourbp.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council, the American Heart Association, and the American Medical Association, in partnership with the Office of Minority Health and Health Resources and Services Administration.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green, helping it thrive, making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Today's agenda includes office meetings this morning, followed by a client lunch, then back to the office for another meeting, and ending the day with a presentation at a client's office. When you are on the go, you need an office phone that goes with you. At Hamilton, our business phone systems make it easy to sync your office phone features to your cell phone for quick and seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you need better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new Complete Post-Workout Recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
'Tis the season to give the gift of good times. Save up to $3,500 on select models or receive promotional financing discounts on qualified vehicle purchases. With deals on KX Youth motorcycles and KFX Youth ATVs, TRX side-by-sides, and more, there's no shortage of savings and good times to be had by the whole crew. Don't miss the 'Tis the Season sales event. Visit Elway Power Sports of Lincoln today. Check them out at elwaypslincoln.com for more detail.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. This is What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. The host is always to my left. We do have some Nebraska basketball going on right now as Nebraska is currently down by, as they just scored again there. So they're currently down by 5. It is 19-14. Purdue leading in the first half with about 9 minutes to go here. As we got Brewington in here, when you were, as your time as Husker on the Husker football team, what was your favorite event to go support outside of obviously football games?
I went to a basketball game. It was very fun.
Okay.
I used to play basketball in high school.
What position?
I was just a ball player. Just put me on the best player, and I'll play the one to wings. Just that was my position in high school.
It is positionless today, to your point.
Yeah.
You look at Jokic, does not look like he's bringing the ball up the court ever, and he does that pretty consistently.
Yeah, I was not on Jokic's level, but I mean, I dabbled. But yeah, it was fun doing that. I mean, it was just always fun just getting out in the community and just doing stuff. I think the amount of respect that end gets is actually remarkable. It's unlike any other place. I feel like I've been a lot of places I mean, I'm 15 minutes away from Arizona State University back at home. And, you see an ASU football player, and you kind of just keep moving. But I feel like here, it's just different with that end. So, no disrespect to ASU, but it's just a different level of respect. And it's really just the foundation and culture that they establish here.
Yeah, so year 5 under Fred Hoiberg here with this Nebraska basketball team. Like a big opportunity tonight. They're only down by 4 to the number 1 team in the country at that, to 14-1 Purdue, playing against the 12-3 Nebraska Cornhuskers. With this being said, though, what do you think the keys to victory are for Nebraska? Obviously, you imagine the ED is going to be their guy for Purdue, but they got a bunch of other great 3-point shooters around it. What does Nebraska need to continue to do as they're playing in it? They're playing close right now. What do you think the keys of the game are if they want to close this one out?
Shoot, win. I don't really know much about Nebraska basketball, so I would just say win. What is my high school coach used to say? He used to say, get back on defense. Make sure you close out with your hand up. Don't go for any ball fakes. And make sure we run on rebounds and get that outlet pass out. So that's what my basketball self would say to the Nebraska basketball team.
And that speaks true at every level. So there's nothing wrong with that. Definitely a rebound.
Make sure we rebound.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing when you look at this team, they've had opportunities, right? You had a ranked Creighton team, you had a ranked Wisconsin team.
Okay.
And I understand those teams, they shot the ball really well when you played them. You could argue it's just a perfect storm game. Guess what? Ranked opponents, they're pretty good on offense. They're probably going to shoot the ball better than most. It's up to you to make them uncomfortable. And I think that's what Nebraska is doing right now is, again, we don't actually have Peacock on TV right here at the moment, so we're not watching it live, but we got the stats up live here. And it does look like Rink Mass is having the effect I hoped he would have. He's got 11 points already, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. The 11 points are big to me because he's going to be that 5 to pull out that Zach Edey. He's got to be able to have his effectiveness shooting the ball, pull out the big, and he's doing a pretty good job at that right now. But do you watch NBA? Are you a big NBA guy?
I am a Lakers fan currently, but we're just going through some struggles right now.
Let's talk about the Lakers,
and
then.
It's kind of hard to watch. And
3-7 in the last 10.
LeBron's frustrated. I'm frustrated. So I mean, I'm not on the team, but I'm frustrated for the guys. I feel like
let's dive into it. What's going wrong? Why can't the Lakers figure it out? Is it a skill problem, X's and O's problem, confidence? What is it with these guys right now?
I think just playing around with too many lineups right now. Trying to figure out who deserves minutes, who doesn't, who's our real. I mean, AR-15, Austin Reeves off the bench. I mean, he's kind of our third option for real, but I mean, we just need some help. We need some help. We just need someone before All-Star break to come in.
Who do you trade to get something real back? That's the problem I see you guys in right now.
I mean, I don't know how much Rui's worth. I think his stock went up last year.
Yeah, in those playoffs, he was playing great.
I think AR stock went up, but do you want to get rid of AR? Is he like a Caruso? I think Caruso was probably a little better than him.
Shout out to the Bulls. It's my team. I was glad to steal him from you guys. He even wanted to come back. He said he would take less money than we were offering to come back and play for the Lakers. And I still didn't take the flyer on it.
No, I really don't understand why. It's tough. It's tough. I feel like the pieces they added, they're not hitting shots. That's really what it is. You've seen Gilbert Arenas go and make like 20 shots, 23s in a row and call out all the Lakers. They're just not making shots. I get you have slumps, but we got to pick it up now.
Yeah, we got 6008 unknown texter chiming in here saying LeBron is the problem. A lot of LeBron haters out there. I went through that myself as a big Kobe Bryant fan. That was a tough era. But you know what? When it comes to LeBron James, this problem I run in with the Lakers all the time. I never know when to count them out. Because last season I wanted to counter them out a long time ago, and I thought they were arguably the second best team in the playoffs. They pushed I know they got swept by the Nuggets, but how many one-legged 3-footers did Jokic put up to seal those games?
Oh my goodness!
Like that's to me why Jokic is the best player.
Some unreal games by Jamal Murray as well, and then Kevin Porter with some huge shots. My goodness! Yeah. But I think it comes down to a thing where we haven't really seen the decline of LeBron James.
No, that's the scary part.
And we just saw him a couple weeks ago have 47-7, right before the Christmas game. So it's just interesting to see how this thing unfolds. And LeBron's gonna be a free agent next year, So
you think he stays? I mean, this is the thing about LeBron. I don't care what your thoughts on him are. He likes to move around,
and he likes
LA
to
is
win.
a sweet spot.
Yeah,
but he likes to move around, and he does like to win.
He likes to win, and I can't. And honestly, to be completely honest, the way AD has played, very inconsistent and injury prone, and I'm not sure if that's a lack of whatever. But I can see how that could be frustrating as a teammate. So I don't know what he's gonna decide to do, but I hope it's somewhere. I hope it's just not the Celtics. I can't be a Celtics fan because I'm a LeBron fan. So wherever he go, we gonna figure it out.
Okay.
But I can't do Celtics. I can't do Celtics.
No, I think if you ever in that Lakers circle, or even vice versa, if you're in that Celtics circle, that's borderline sacrilege if you're going to start rooting for the other team.
Yeah.
Because even when I was a Kobe fan, like, I got that Celtics hate. I'm a Bulls guy first, but when I was a fan of Kobe, like, I found my Celtics passion. I shouldn't passion, my hatred for the Celtics.
Yeah.
While watching Kobe Bryant when he was playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. But looking at LeBron, do you think he'd trade away? Because LeBron's he's going to be, I think he's going to be gone. The way he keeps posturing, saying this is AD's team, AD's franchise.
Yeah.
That to me is indicative that he's going to retire, which I don't think he will. I think he'll wait for his son to make it to the league. But I'm feeling like he's going to go. Is that where you're leaning? You think he's gone after the season?
I think it's going to be so calculated. It's going to be such a calculated decision. It's going to factor in when he thinks Bronny's going to declare and where he thinks he's going to go. If he's going to be a high pick, if he's going to be a mid pick. Because if he's going to be a mid pick, then he can kind of go a plethora of places. But if he's going to be a high pick, then you can only go a couple places. You know what I'm saying? So
a bad franchise, and LeBron doesn't necessarily like to pick those.
Right. So I don't know. And what's the next deal he's going to sign? Is it going to be a 3-year, 4-year? What is it going to be? And is he going to take a pay cut? Like what's the deal going to be? But I think it's going to be awesome to see him play with Bronny, because I think that's going to happen. I really do think that's going to happen. I think him saying Bronny's ready to play for the Lakers right now is kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But
that's a dad for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like listening to LeVar Ball when Lonzo was coming up into the league.
Man, Lonzo.
He's on his way back.
Yeah. Lonzo Ball on his way back. That was when him and Bron were playing together. That was fun to watch.
Oh my God.
That was really fun to watch.
That team, at one point in time,
before Christmas break, we were number 3 that year.
Might have been. I mean, at one point in time, you had Brandon Ingram.
Oh my gosh.
You had
Jordan Clarkson,
Julius Randle.
Josh Hart.
Yeah. You had some guys, Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
LeBron James, Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah. Kyle Kuzma. Yeah,
we kept
did.
That whole
and we had
together.
And we had a buddy that went to the Clippers, the center. What was his name?
Zubac.
We had a squad.
Lonzo Ball and Zubac had a nice connection going too.
We had a squad, man.
And that was cheap contracts. You guys could have hoarded those for a while.
Oh, yeah. And that was when Bron hurt his groin.
Were you upset then when the Lakers decided Kuzma was the guy to keep over Lonzo? Because Kuzma's still a good player. And in hindsight being 2020, with Lonzo's injury history, it was the right move. But fit-wise, do you think it would have looked better saying Lonzo Ball stays healthy if they retain him instead of Kyle Kuzma?
Yeah, I think Kuzma just had a lot of...
He's having a lot of fun with the Wizards right now.
Yeah, it was just when he was at the Lakers, like, you ever seen that meme that went around when he fell and then it was LeBron prior to that. That was like, hey, a teammate falls on the ground, you make sure you pick him up, and then he falls on the ground. You just look at him and LeBron just walks away. But no, I mean, I think I'm sure the Lakers probably knew something that obviously we didn't with the injury history, and they probably talked to doctors, got X-rays, MRIs, and been like, look, like this is gonna be a problem later on. So, I mean, I would have still loved to take him, to be honest. Maybe he could have figured something out, but yeah.
It's just, to me, maybe we should dive into that one next. Like when I think of what would be the most insane team to watch, it's a collection of the best playmakers out there.
Yeah.
And I know Lonzo Ball, he fixed his 3-point shot. Hopefully when he comes back, it's still there, but he's just such a good playmaker. Same thing with Jokic. Same thing with LeBron James. What to you would be the most insane team to watch? That if you could pick any 5 guys in the league that are, you could say they're healthy, but still active players.
Yeah.
Pick 5 players, come up with the craziest fast-paced movie, or not even fast-paced, just best offense out there that you think you could put together.
Yeah, I'd probably say at the 1, I'd probably start Ja.
Yeah.
I'd probably start Ja. And then at the 2, I'll probably put Curry at the 2. I put Bron at 3. At the 4, I'll probably go Giannis, and then I'll go Jokic.
Yeah.
That'd be a squad right there.
That's so much playmaking.
That would be
Can
a
you
squad.
imagine what the passes would look like between Jokic and Braun?
Oh my gosh.
Those guys are both 10 steps ahead of everyone.
Yeah, but imagine this. Everyone except for Giannis, you can set a 3-point screen for. You can set a tunnel screen for every one of those guys. Every one of those guys. Ja can come off a curl for a screen. We seen Curry do it. We seen Braun do it. And the Nuggets set screens for Jokic a 5. Like, that'd be insane. That'd be insane.
All right, that's too easy for you. Let's actually draft these. So that way you don't just get you. Then we'll compare them. 402-464-5685. And we'll just go snake draft. Well, there's only 2 people. We'll just go back and forth here. So since you got the first pick last time, refresh the list, fresh roster.
All right.
I'll give you the number 1 pick again, and you can go any position you want. There's no order, but you got to get 5.
Okay. I'm gonna switch it up this time. I'm gonna go Steph at my 1.
Steph at your 1. Okay, give me Jokic for my 5.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna throw a curveball. Give me KD at my 4.
KD's good. Okay, so let me write these out here so we can actually properly
So
compare
I got
them
Steph
here.
at my 1. I got KD at my 4.
Yep. So we got Steph, and then we got KD at the 4. I got Jokic at the 5.
Oh my goodness.
Let me get my second pick in here. Okay, you got Steph Curry. I feel like the point guard department's really deep in the NBA.
It is.
So I'm gonna leave that one alone. Give me Giannis. I'm just gonna take Giannis right now because he's just a freak.
I'm gonna go a sleeper 2. I'm gonna go Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
SGA. By the way, second in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
The OKC Thunder with Chad Holmgren. Those guys are cooking right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and give me Luka. Give me Luka.
Oh my gosh.
At the point. Give me the foreign. Dude, I got all foreign team right now. I got Luka, Giannis, and Jokic.
Okay. And I got KD at my 4.
Yep.
Let's do a team without Braun. How about that? Let's do a team without Braun. Let's go JT at the 3.
Okay,
Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum at the 3.
I like it.
That's gonna be my 5.
Okay, you're not taking LeBron. I will take LeBron. Happily, we'll take him off your hands from you. So I got Luka, LeBron, Giannis, Jokic. You have Steph, SGA, Jason Tatum, and KD. You need your 5.
Okay, what are my options right now? I have
76ers. Joel Embiid would be.
Oh my gosh,
one.
I got to take Embiid. He's damn near having an NBA season right now.
Yeah, I mean
MVP season.
All right, so that leaves me with my 3. Man, who do I pick here? Pretty much all foreign right now. Luka, LeBron, Giannis, Jokic. Who do I got left? Kawhi Leonard's still out there. Paul George.
Yep.
I need a big wing. Give me Kawhi Leonard just for defense. Just
I
for
like
defense.
I like it.
So right there, with that list, I think we beat you in a sweep.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
We got, so we'll just go in order here. So you got Steph Curry, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Kevin Durant, and Embiid. I got Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, I think we'll have some matchup problems. Yeah. I think we'll have some matchup problems. I have a question for you. So when it comes to football and basketball, do you think it's easier for a football player to transition to a basketball player or a basketball player to transition over to a football player?
Definitely, I'm going to say basketball to football. Because football, if you have it's depending on the position, like football, you can plug yourself into positions and kind of match your style already.
Yeah.
To me, basketball is a lot like soccer, where if you played soccer your whole life, you can probably do some pretty good dribbling with your feet that people that are just picking up the sport are like, oh my God, that's insane.
Right.
Basketball, the same thing. Like I can dribble the ball pretty well because I played it my whole life. Not an NBA player, but it's a lot more natural to me to pick up the ball, shoot around, and dribble. Football just feels like if you're an athlete and you have that grit and grind in you, as long as you're not playing quarterback, running back's a little tougher too.
Or O-line or something.
Yeah, those real tough ones. But if you're just a fast guy that's got good hands, wide receiver, you're fast and a really good hand-eye coordination, DB, safety.
Yeah.
To me, that's the transition. I'm curious, what are your thoughts on it though?
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously there's some freak cases, but you factor in height, you factor in some other things. And I think football, basketball player going over to football, you can teach a LeBron James how to play D end.
Oh God, would he be the most dominant if there was an NBA to NFL? It's LeBron James or Zion, the two guys I always think about.
A prime Zion. He could. I mean, honestly,
he could be big. If
he could be.
wanted
Yeah,
to,
yeah. He could. I mean, now 300 pounds. Like that. Now we're getting a little crazy.
Well,
but,
just as long as he's not playing for a franchise that's parked in New Orleans, I think his location doesn't do him any services.
Yeah, let's put him in Arizona or something. Let's put him in Arizona.
Send him to somewhere in California. Get him on that tofu diet.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get him on some acai bowls. We'll be all right. But I think, what about like a prime Russell Westbrook though, playing safety or something like that, or playing nickel or a slot. Not even slot because he's 6'3".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these
6'4"
point guards, they could be terrifying safeties.
Yeah.
Or wide receivers.
Ja Morant. Oh my gosh.
That's Randy Moss 2.0. He's gonna moss everyone.
Yeah.
High point in the catch every single time.
Yeah. That would be he would remind me of like a little bit more athletic, like CeeDee Lamb. Like that'd be kind of crazy. You think about a Jokic. Could he put some side? Can he play tackle?
7-footer, that's tough. I don't know.
But he can move. He's one of the most athletic 7-footers in the nation.
I'm not worried about him. I'm hoping the quarterback's tall enough that if he's
that's pretty tough.
Yeah, throwing it over 7-footer's tough. If you got a quick slant, that's tough.
Yeah. Everything's next window.
Yeah. We'll talk it over some more over the break here. But nonetheless, you guys are always welcome to join the show. We'll throw it to our final break here before we set up a replay. And then, of course, we'll get to the Nebraska basketball postgame show because the Huskers are up right now, leading 34-30 in the first half with about 2.5 minutes yet to play here. So don't go anywhere. Plenty left ahead. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit.
When it comes to joining the Nebraska Army National Guard, you've heard it all before. College, healthcare, signing bonus. But joining is so much more than that. It's setting yourself up for a new and better chapter of your life. I'm Staff Sergeant Paul White, and because of the Nebraska Army National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
Babe, pack your bags. We're going to Vegas.
Vegas?
We just got the estimate from the wedding caterer, and we're going to have to elope.
Actually, Members Owned Credit Union is offering no-fee home equity lines of credit. We can borrow what we need with equity from the house.
Wait, so we can keep the bacon-wrapped dates for the cocktail hour?
We can keep the bacon-wrapped dates. From wedding bells to trekking the globe and everything in between, capture your dreams your way with a no-fee Members Owned Credit Union home equity line of credit. Learn more at membersownedheloc.org. Limitations may apply. Equal housing lender.
School taught you all about the 4 seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's the way we really tell what time of year it is in sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or off season. But what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now. And now, and now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolateseason.com.
Today's agenda includes office meetings this morning, followed by a client lunch, then back to the office for another meeting, and ending the day with a presentation at a client's office. When you are on the go, you need an office phone that goes with you. At Hamilton, our business phone systems make it easy to sync your office phone features to your cell phone for quick and seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you need better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs at a price that's right for you, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, an easy track lawnmower, or gator, every piece of equipment in pre-owned inventory is put through a rigorous inspection so it's ready to work hard for you. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Learn more at landmarkimp.com or stop into a local Landmark location and experience the Landmark difference.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. Quick score update. Nebraska basketball looking to close out the first half strong as they are leading 41-30. They're up 11 points with about 45 seconds left to go here in the first half. So things are looking optimistic. And again, we will have the post-game show for that later tonight as soon as the clock hits 0. But I want to continue this conversation as we're having before. We're talking about players transferring over different sports. Which sport to you, Chancellor Brewington, is the hardest, most respectable when it comes to skill? And if you want to be a pro at it, it's going to have the toughest, shortest avenue to greatness.
Baseball.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think baseball.
The best way I can say that if your batting average is .33, you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
That says a lot.
Yeah. If you drop if you catch 1 out of 3 balls, you're
I'm in the conversation.
But if football, if you drop 1 out of 3 balls,
you're out of the conversation.
You're cut. You're not playing anymore. But I think baseball, just looking at it from a whole, first the amount of skill it takes to hit a 90-mile-per-hour fastball, and then you factor in that now guys are throwing fastballs, curveballs, changeups, sliders, cutters, two-seam, and all these different things, and now they're throwing 104, 102, and guys in high school now are throwing 98, 97.
Saying the College World Series last year.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You get to that. It's like this is college baseball.
Yeah.
You're seeing consistent 98, 100, 102 on a fastball.
Yeah.
I'm with you there. What do you think about UFC? To me, that's always the one where I don't know. I think it's the hardest. I have the most respect for it because at a certain point in time, you're probably in training, you've probably gotten knocked out, and you come back to it and you still think, you know what? Yeah, I want to keep doing this. I'm going to keep grinding so I can be the best. And I just got knocked out and the lights turned off.
I think the uniqueness comes, or the skill comes, from the mental component. I don't think the actual verbatim skill I think UFC is the common man sport. I think a common man can go in UFC and get good at the skills of striking, because I feel like every man can become a good fighter.
Yeah.
So it's not so much of I got to be able to run fast, catch, I got to jump high, I got to do this. It's more so just fighting. You know what I'm saying? So I think someone who's been in it for, say 15 plus years, if you go put a UFC fighter, you've seen Khabib play basketball. Have you seen it?
I don't think I have.
Oh,
it can't be great.
Dagestan basketball. So they just run around with the ball and then just put it in the hoop.
It's that version of it? Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but they'll dribble whenever, then all of a sudden they'll body slam each other and go straight grapple mode and do straight submissions on each other in the middle of the basketball game.
Is that the one where they don't have a backboard? It's just the ring?
I mean, I think it's literally just a basketball court and they just wrestle each other on there.
Okay, yeah. I know there's one over in, I want to say especially over in Europe, where some of them where it's like you said, it's physical. There's no backboard. It's like,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like a little bit of a shorter rim, and you're just body like tackling each other, trying to throw it down any chance you can get.
Yeah.
But to me, I always go UFC, probably more mentally, as you're saying. Because everyone wants to be undefeated. What do you do once you get your first loss? What do you do once you get your second loss?
Are you a UFC fan?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I would say I'm a above mid-tier fan.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know my names, but my personal favorite, who's your personal favorite?
Ferguson.
Tony Ferguson?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
He was great. I know he's had a bad run lately. It's really slipping away from him, but when he was in his prime, at one point in time, I needed that Ferguson Khabib fight, because Tony Ferguson was the only guy that's weird enough when it comes to grappling, unorthodox enough to where I think he's the only guy that give Khabib any sort of run for his money when it comes to grappling, because he'd get anybody on the ground and it was over. I mean, that guy was wrestling bears. He's just in crazy strength.
Yeah. So you think?
I thought that would have been the best chance. I don't see anyone else.
I mean, I thought Gaethje, that was probably the best chance, or McGregor in that. And I thought at the beginning of the McGregor fight, it was back and forth a little bit. So
and then as soon as he got into as soon as he got him in a clinch, it was over. I'll say Francis Ngannou. He's probably got to be my 1B, just because he's a freak. When he knocked out Fury, not quite knockout, he lost in a decision. Right. I thought he should have won. Honestly,
I thought he should have won too.
Like, that's a guy who doesn't box. Fury, who never gets knocked down, he takes one punch from that guy, and he's like, you can see it in his eyes.
Yeah,
so this guy has unreal power. Like, I mean, he put Fury on the ground, which was, to me, a win in itself. But we do actually have to wrap it up here. A little bit of UFC and fighting talk. Always good to mix that in here. Quick score update, as I played the music a little bit too loud there right off the bat. But it is halftime. Nebraska was able to hold on to the lead there, 41-30. So they got an 11-point lead at half. We will continue to comment on the second half, as well as have the post-game show after. So that's going to wrap it up for What's Brewing with Chancellor Brewington. I'm Harrison Arns. That's the host to my left, Brewington himself. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night.